There are moments in life when you look back and realize that the burdens you carry do not always come from the outside world. Many times, it is precisely the things you hold on to too tightly that bind you the most. An old word, a sad memory, a disappointment that cannot be changed, a person who has left, or a result you once believed must belong to you. Everything slowly becomes an invisible rope, wrapping around your mind, pulling you down, making your breath heavier, your steps slower. But strangely, you still keep those things with you, as if letting them go would mean losing a part of yourself. And then one day, you ask yourself, if I let go, what would happen? If I no longer cling to things that have passed, would my life become lighter? The Stoics believe that freedom does not come from having more, but from removing what binds the mind. Detaching from excessive desires, swirling emotions, unrealistic expectations. That is the path toward inner freedom. But learning to detach does not mean becoming cold or emotionless. It is the lesson of clarity, of seeing life as it is, not as we demand it to be. As you enter this story, try thinking about yourself. Throughout the years that have passed, what have you held too tightly? What emotion has become an invisible chain? What expectation has made you tired rather than strong? One autumn morning, I met an elderly man living in a small house on the mountainside. He told me he had spent much of his life bound by things that were never truly important, and it took him nearly half a lifetime just to learn how to detach from them. He said, "When a person knows how to stand apart from things they cannot control, life becomes like a door opening before them, so light that even the wind could lift them." I sat in silence hearing that sentence, because deep inside I knew he was right. How many times have we suffered not because of the event itself, but because we could not let it go? How many times have we drowned in disappointment, not because of what happened, but because we wanted it to be different? Life becomes a battle between reality and expectation always wins, not because it is stronger, but because we allow it to drag us along. When I stepped out of his house, I realized a simple truth. Freedom begins within, and its key is called detachment. The old man told me his story, and each word felt like wind striking a cliff, echoing slowly yet heavily. He had once been a wealthy merchant, always chasing profit, reputation, and recognition. But the richer he became, the more anxious he was. He feared losing what he had. He feared others surpassing him. He feared failure. He feared being forgotten. Each morning he woke up, he no longer felt light. Instead, worries stood waiting at the door. One day, after a great misfortune that nearly cost him everything, he sat down and asked himself, "In the end, what truly belongs to me?" That question changed his life. He began reading Stoic philosophy, slowing down, seeing life with new eyes. He learned to accept that nothing outside the mind truly belongs to him. Reputation fades. Wealth changes hands. Even health will leave someday. But how he thinks, how he reacts, how he views life, that is the land he controls. And once he realized that, the invisible ropes surrounding his heart began to loosen. He said the hardest part was not letting go of something, but letting go of the belief that he must hold it. When he detached from those expectations, he felt young again, light, and curious about life. He said, "We suffer because we want everything to follow our wishes, but life was not born to please anyone." That sentence stayed in my mind for years. How many times have you been disappointed simply because life did not follow the script you wrote in your head? How many times have you been angry because others did not behave as you expected? How many times have you suffered because you held on to things that no longer fit your life? Unrecognized expectations are the heaviest burdens. They have no shape, yet cling to us like the dust of time. When he talked about detaching from those expectations, I saw peace in his eyes, something years of wealth had never brought him. That afternoon, he led me along the small trail around the hillside. The wind brushed through the leaves, making them tremble like whispers of time. He said nature is the greatest teacher of detachment. A fallen leaf does not regret the branch. A passing breeze does not cling to its shape. A drifting cloud does not look back at the sky. Everything in nature knows how to let go at the right moment. Only humans do not. We hold too tightly to what has passed, even knowing it cannot change. We replay old stories in our minds, even knowing the more we think, the more we hurt. He stopped before an old tree, placed his hand on the trunk, and said, "Humans suffer because they want to control things beyond their reach." I asked him how to tell what we should keep and what we should detach from. He smiled softly and said, "Ask one simple question. Is this within my control? If not, return it to life." I felt clarity in every word he said, not only from reasoning, but from a lifetime of wounds and healing. On that windy mountain trail, he repeated one message: detachment is not turning your back. It is standing in the right place. You can still love someone, but without letting that love bind you. You can still strive, but without letting outcomes steal your sleep. You can still dream, but without letting disappointment break you. That is inner freedom, the kind no one can take away. We sat on a large rock overlooking the valley. Evening mist gradually settled, covering everything in a soft blur. He told me there was a time he lost the person he loved most. He collapsed. He blamed himself. He clung to old memories, thinking that if he held on tightly enough, the pain would disappear. But the more he held, the more exhausted he became. Every day he faced the feeling that he was drowning himself. Until one day, looking at the empty chair on his porch, he realized what hurt was not the loss, but his refusal to accept reality. He began learning to detach from that pain, not erasing memories, not forgetting the person who had passed, but not letting the past dictate the present. He said, "We never truly lose when we learn to keep what is right and release what is not. We are never taught how to let go. We are only taught how to try harder. And so we think letting go is failure. But letting go at the right time is wisdom. When you learn that, your mind becomes a still lake, no longer stirred by the wild waves of blind emotion." He looked toward the valley and said a sentence I remember forever. Freedom doesn't come from holding on. It comes from knowing when to release. The sun slowly disappeared behind the mountains, leaving the last soft orange glow of the day. I asked him whether detachment makes people distant or emotionless. He shook his head. Detachment does not make us love less. It helps us love without losing ourselves. To the Stoics, emotions are not enemies. They are guests. They come and go. We welcome them, observe them, and let them leave when it is time. When we stand apart from emotions, their true nature becomes clear. Fear is only a message. Anger is only a reaction. Sadness is only a gentle wave in the heart. No emotion is the enemy. The only enemy is identifying yourself with the emotion. When you believe, I am sadness, sadness swallows you. When you believe, I am failure, you become a prisoner of the past. But when you keep a small distance, even just a breath, you become the observer, not the victim. And the observer is always free. In life, we cannot avoid loss, success, disappointment, or misunderstanding, but we can choose not to let them dominate us. We can choose to stand one step behind everything, and from that place, the mind becomes clear, like a lake reflecting the sky. He placed his hand on my shoulder and said, "When you learn to stand apart from everything, you will see that you never truly lost your freedom. You only forgot it for a while." Night had fully fallen when I left the house on the mountainside, but inside, I felt a strange light. I understood that the journey to freedom does not begin in the outer world, but in the deepest part of the mind. You do not need a perfect life to be free. You only need to detach from what does not belong to you, from illusions of expectation, unreal fears, and draining attachments. As I stepped down the stone path, I remembered his last words. If you want to be light, release. If you want to be free, take one step back. Life does not wait for anyone to be ready, but it always opens doors for those who release their burdens. And now, as you hear this story, perhaps it is time to ask yourself, what am I holding too tightly? What should I detach from? In that moment, take a deep breath. Let your mind expand like the night sky embracing the stars. And if you feel ready to remove those invisible ropes, remember you are not alone. Every step you detach from what you cannot control is a step back to yourself. If this story offers you a new perspective, take a moment to continue journeying with Stoic Penglai. Somewhere in these quiet lessons, you may discover the freest version of yourself.